Okay, we flipped the vehicle around and we're going to head back to where that officer was sitting, running 34/7. They run Stalker Duals here, but he was only running his forward-facing antenna, it appears, at this time. So we're not getting anything now, we're facing them, and he's probably gone, because we were obviously getting the rear alerts when he was behind us at this intersection, and we're well past that now and heading directly at him. So I suspect either he's there, and he's still there, and I guess he's running instant on at this point. So we're going to put ourselves out. The speed limit is 45. I'm going to respect that here. They're fiercely always on this road, and it's unfortunate because they're right in front of a Ford plant here. This is actually Cleveland, where they build the 351. They built the 351 years ago. There he is sitting. See if he's going to light me up at, I'm going 35. No, he's turned it off, and he's just sitting. Just sitting, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. Not running radar, so I guess he also runs instant on here.
X-band.
Notice how the CI and the the 9500 CI and the STi-R are alerting to X. The IX is not quite as sensitive with the conventional radar receiver, unlike the STi-R. There we're getting an alert.
K-band.
We're also getting a K-band alert. So you can see the ramp up on the 9500 IX and the CI is actually pretty respectable on X. I'm gonna come up here. I'll flip it around again and see if we can get this officer.
X-band. X-band.
See the STi-R and the 9500 CI are alerting to X again. The IX is not. They're all in highway mode at the moment. Here we get the alert from the IX. Let's see if we can pick up this officer running instant on up here. Still there. I don't want to pass this guy too many times. And there it is, Cleveland engines. Boy, what history in this Ford plant over here to my left. 351 Cleveland. Made it into the Italian supercar, the Damaso Pantera. It's a terrific car. And this is the factory that made that car possible. Still making engines today. Cleveland casting plant. There they are. Okay, here he is, quietly sitting facing traffic. Very sneaky in Ohio here. This is a fiercely enforced road. I hope he doesn't light me up when I pass him yet another time. Okay, so far so good. Staying in his position. And I'm respecting the speed limit here for sure. There he's running it. Notice the STi-R alerted first and only. And the antenna is actually in the most disadvantageous position. Now the 9500 CI is picking up his alerting. Notice how the IX is also a fabulous receiving radar detector, and it's on highway mode. It's got a better line of sight, and yet it's not alerting from the rear. And that's not so much an indication of not how well the IX is working, it's just how fabulously great the STi-R and the 9500 CI are working. And look at that. Look at how much warning we're getting from both of these fabulous detectors. and the 9500 Ci is now, I'm sorry, the 9500 IX is now only beginning to alert. So he may be coming up behind me to light me up. Curious as to what I'm doing here. He's, can't see him yet, but he's obviously back there behind several cars. There, there's another one. Interesting. Yep, and you can see the 9500 Ci showed 2, and now it's still showing 2, with the one strength and then the other one. So it actually picked up the second officer who just made the left with his KA as well. You can see the 2 frequencies, 736. Now the CI is now, oh, that 731 is probably the same one. Is only alerting to 1 now. And he is behind me. I'm sure he's behind me, and we may get lit up here because he's curious as to what we're doing. This is going to be interesting. It's a long light. Looks like he cut it. Yep. Notice that the detectors trail a little bit when the signal drops. If it were the Valentine, it would have immediately stopped. Okay, I'm making a left. It's possible, you know what, he didn't come out. The sensitivity of these detectors are just so fabulous that we're getting rear warning at that strength while these antennas are mounted in the front of my vehicle, meaning the entire front of my vehicle is blocking the reception from the rear, and yet these antennas are able to alert with such intensity and signal strength. Oh, we got another one. Here's another one, 34680, so this is probably another source. Notice both of them are alerting, the STi-R and the 9500 Ci. The IX is quiet. Again, this is not a bad reflection on the IX. It's really just in it. Here he is. He's coming from my left at the intersection. Now we get the alert from the IX, and there he is. Just incredible sensitivity and performance from the 9500 Ci and the STi-R remotes. Now granted, these detectors run, you know, 2 to 3 times the price of the 9500 IX. So, you know, let's put all this in the proper perspective, but it is a wonderful thing to behold, the fabulous performance. It's just incredible, unbelievable performance of the 9500 Ci and the STi-R. So there you have it in Cleveland.